Hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to go answer some of your questions you got. Try to make it visible as I paint this orc that I have already base coated, and even go over some basic shit on how to make characters for a couple of the games that I play. So here we go. Me? No, I like to go and mix paints. But yep, undercoated it with the base of a black primer. Now I have a normal black paint and a gray. I'm gonna mix them together on my nasty palette, like so. Yeah, just go vaguely get the whole model. My ear may not be able to see any of this, but that's what I got. So that's what I'm working with. Okay. Now we're gonna lighten that up a little bit. Pulling out the white paint. Mix it up a little bit on the brush. Mix it into what I've already got going on. And just like with the first coat, I'm gonna go and slap it on there roughly. Haven't touched green yet. Touched anything else yet. We'll get there. Yep, there we go. Oh, now you can see it. Nice and great now. And while I give that a minute or two to dry, and show that I'm done with those three for now, go with the brush. Give that a minute or two to dry. And since I have it on the top, basics making a character from the Dungeon Masters, from the D&D Player's Handbook. You want it to be more extravagant than that, you're probably going to need to ask. Okay, you're going to go. We're just going in order. Go, roll up the stats. You got 6 of them. Your strength, dexterity, intelligence. If you got the book, you can get a better idea. Pick your race. The ones in the dungeon in the Player's Handbook are the dwarf, elf, dark elf, halfling, humans, dragonborn, gnome, half elf, half orcs, tieflings. You're gonna go and pick your class as you go and roll basic stats. Once you got that done, you're gonna go into selecting the character's class. Now you can go and do that a whole bunch of ways. You put this book here, but I'm gonna suggest having a idea of what you want first. If you want something that's up in your face with damage in mind, I'd probably say the fighter. Something more rounded, even though you might be called basic or whatever. The fighter, if you want a martial artist or something, you're going to want a monk. If you want a holy character, you may or may not consider religion for it. Doesn't really matter. But please do take into consideration the oath or domain, if you, respectively, if you go with the paladin or cleric. If you want a nature-based character, druids, probably ranger. But yeah, the concept of your character should be a thought on your mind, not just what hits the hardest. You get what I'm saying? And from there, you're going to go start at level, whatever level your dungeon master or whatever they call himself, level, whatever level. And build a character. After you've got the class and racial features and all of that stuff figured out, get past this. I am actually I'm flipping through the book as I'm talking to you beautiful people. Oh, I forgot the wizard. Wizards are cool because you get all sorts of magic in there. Did you say that? But yeah, depending on what you're looking for, a whole bunch of magic, a whole bunch of combat, a mix of both, you're going to build your character based off of that. After you've gotten all of that situated and all of that, you'll get into the character's personality and background even. Most people ignore alignment for various reasons, usually somewhere, somehow amounting to it has no place in the game. That annoys me a bit because the alignment is not what I hear people say that they think it is, because it's not. It's the general moral compass of the character. Mm-hmm. You got lawful. Let me get that back open so I don't skip an alignment. Or I can just go with it. You know what? Let me just go get it open to the alignments again. And just work on neutrals. On the neutrals. You got the true neutral. It says it in here. Neutral is the alignment of those who prefer to steer clear of moral questions and don't take sides, doing what seems best at the time. Lizard folk, most druids, and many humans are neutral, which means they're just going to go with the flow of the majority of the group they're in at any given time. It's kind of what that comes down to. What? Okay, just know every time you open that door, it's recorded. So I was going live. I probably didn't believe me. Anyway, back to it. I'm only going to go off of neutral, starting with true neutral. Like, as it says, they steer clear of moral questions. which means they're not going to pick a side. They are going to pick a stone cold, whatever generic textbook response is to any given situation. Now, looking at a different part of it, you got lawful neutral. Going off of law, tradition, or personal codes. Which means they're probably going to lean more toward taking the majority opinion of the group in that they're in, for the most part. Chaotic neutral, following their whim, personal. Follow their whim, holding their personal freedom above all else. Which means they're going to do just about whatever they feel that is an okay response for what they're doing. Anyway. And contrary to popular, what I see, chaotic neutral and neutral evil are very different. A chaotic neutral character could be convinced to stop. A neutral evil character, they're not going to stop. They are doing it entirely because they can. The lulls are all that's really on their mind in that. But, so yeah. Alignment is the base moral compass of the character. You can ignore that or not. It is entirely up to you. I just gave my own opinion of it. Take it as you will. Leave angry comments on whatever videos you want. I will. I'll do what I do. The backgrounds, that's fun. And backgrounds are fun. They are a lot of fun and add a whole nother depth to the character. Let me go and pick one. No, I'm not even going to do that. Just go pick one. Work that into why did this person do this? Computer plugged in, so it died too. Okay. Background adds more to your character. A lot more to your character. Gives them their purpose before they actually started adventuring, really. This is what they were doing before they started adventuring. So they're very likely going to, as they're adventuring, go back toward things that they were doing as a result of their background. Because after that, you got equipment. That's something that's more for the player and the dungeon master to work together in figuring out. Yes, the classes come with all that, what they get, how they, whatever. Or you could go and roll for how much money the character has and purchase the equipment that way. It's entirely up to you and the dungeon master to do that. Oh. feats. Some games allow the first level feat, some don't, and you get an extra attribute skill bonus or whatever it was, ASI, at certain levels as you advance in with your character. You can go with an ASI, or instead of giving an attribute a +1 or +2 bonus at those levels, you could take a feat instead. Good size array of those. I should do that. Let's check the bottle. Not looking dry. Now let's get that first coat of green on there. Now for the beginning of the greens, I use black a lot. Okay, I got a green and I got a black. I'm gonna go mix them together with not that fat brush. Probably something more like this one. You may or may not be able to see which paints or brushes I'm using, and you may not want to use the paints I'm using. You might not. I'm gonna go get that mixed together. Get that first coat on there. Getting the skin, because that's what I want. Green. Sorry about the long pauses, but when I'm painting, I get involved in it. You may not be able to see me getting this first coat of green on there. Not worried about the teeth at the moment. That will be dealt with later. Don't really know if you can tell the difference. Wait, you kind of can. Oh, there went the viewer. Oh well. With that, I'm gonna go lighten up that green with some more green and already the mix that I've already got going. Add to it. Highlight that dark green again. I'll give that another coat of green. It dried fast enough. I'll go and add the next coat of green. All I'm doing is lightening it up from that excessively dark green that I started with and highlighting it as I go. Eventually, it's going to be green. It's green can probably be probably shouldn't look at the cloth, but I'm not worried about it at the moment. Only focused on the green of the skin. Now to go and start all of that for, well, so we can get something looking good. Get the brown work. Get the brown of the cloth that he's going to end up with done. Some brown paint. That brush I did not clean. Some red paint. Also on the brush. me get that on my palette somewhere. Mix it in. Get the cloth when I want it. Bolts, accident. Not worried. Different colored paint. Hopefully fix that mess as I go. I'm doing the boots the best I can because I don't want those to be this color. I don't want that color. I'm trying my best to ignore it. Get this beautiful piece of fabric. That glove on, we'll get that too. All right. Now we're sitting here. Looking pretty good. But if I have to say something, say about it. Oop, I missed a spot. Let me get that right quick. Put it aside so those layers can dry. And I'm probably not going to stay too long on Heroes Unlimited and RIP, because those are very similar. And very different from Dungeons and Dragons. I'll go with Heroes Unlimited, because that was, again, the one closest in hand. Instead of 6 attributes, it's got 8. Physical strength, endurances, several endurances. Very different piece. But yeah, just like with Dungeons and Dragons, you'll go roll the basic information. And there's a lot more to it than Dungeons and Dragons, so. And a lot more work with the game master to actually get it all worked in and whatever. One of the biggest differences between Heroes Unlimited and Rifts is the way skills are selected. In Rifts, you have the class, it comes with its specific skills and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. Yep, the OOC characters or occupational character class skills. Yep, you got that, plus related skills, and even into your secondary skills. Between all of that is occupational skills are what come with the class. The skills you learned in picking up that class, those are the skills that you learned. Related skills are the extra skill that you were trained in as you went and don't necessarily have a lot to do with your job. And then the secondary skills, that's what you learn on the side from a friend or as a hobby or any of that. Heroes Unlimited, skills have very little to do with the actual hero category you pick. It's the amount of education your character went through when they went through school. It even gives and both systems give the potential for learning more, faster, over time than as you leveled and skill options became. Now the hero category, it like Dungeons and Dragons, it's a bunch of wow, how do I want this character to be? Did he come from outer space? Have extensive bionic implants? A lot of money? a lot of training, even super abilities. You'll go look through it, look at the categories that way. You do all of that. Rifts, fairly similar, but it's that's where where did you learn this comes in. How did you do it, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, there you go. Practically complete meat animals. I may or may not talk about that. Don't want to talk about? Nah, I won't talk about it. If you have the books, you can go get a better idea of it. It's just a general. I'm just here for the. Yeah, this is the basic how-to for the character creation process in general. You'll go pick your stuff, pick your skills, figure out how it all works together to be that enjoyable, playable character that you want to play. And just like in Dungeons and Dragons, in both Heroes Unlimited, Palladium, and Rifts, or any of those games, character create the equipment, background, all of that is between player and dungeon master. Working with the dungeon master is one of the most important things to consider. The dungeon master is the one making the world that your character lives in. So without the dungeon master, you can't really know what character could or could not have actually have learned going off of the environment that both parties discuss. I'm over here now getting normal coat of brown on the cloth, ignoring for this model the straps best I can. I'm pretty much just slapping it on there. Sorry I don't have a better view of the actual painting of the model, but I'm showing you the best how it all comes together as I go. Little snaps of what I'm doing. Like so. That one's got brown on the cloth, even onto the leather. Looking fairly good, if I do say so myself. All I really need to do now is bring out the metals and teeth with a fairly bright highlight of gray mixed with white. There's gray again. Let me dry off my brush so it doesn't get too thin. Well, I can actually see the gray that time. That's pretty good. Some of the gray, some of this white. Mix it up on my palette here. See if I like it. I don't. I'll wait to it. Yeah, I mix my paints a lot. I don't have very many color selections, but the fact that I mix my paint the way as much as I do really does make up for it. And I like mixing my paints anyway, so it works out. I'm going to keep filling it until I have good bright gray, white, gray. It's almost there. Get a little more white on that. And that top highlight. There we go. Bring that down so I can. There we go. Okay, come over here. Highlight the metals. Oh man, I really messed up. This guy's slugging. But oh well. just another detail to make them more unique. The inside. Don't know how you can see that, but I'll show you anyway. Here you go. Ooh. Yeah, those highlights come out. Let me tap the teeth with this same. The same thing. Come on. Can you see that? Okay, let me hit that with it again. Because that looks pitiful. Oh yeah, there you go. The screen again. That is that on him. Let me get the final highlight on that one thing. Now for final highlights, which is just really going back and hitting the spots that I want to get it in. Like this, like the glove right here. Just wrap around his arm. Hit that metal. I know I'm not worried that I'm mixing my paints every time with this dirty brush, because it gives an extra little bit to the model with each. So yeah, there you go. Looks good. Tastes good. And there he is. I'm ready to call him done. Not sure if you'd call him, say it's good, but for the purposes, I like it. So there you go. That lovely orc boy with his slug gun and gun and his gun and sword and blade. Nice painted. I was hoping that I'd have more people asking questions, more elaborate, to elaborate on things, but oh well. Well, that was my first string. Let me get that on my eye. But yeah, there you go. Very basic, very vague. How to make characters. Doesn't matter from which books you're actually coming from. It's mostly the same. Sit there, work with your DM, and have fun. Making the characters, running the characters, building on the characters as you progress and level from wherever you started up until the end of the campaign. So yeah, I guess I'll call a stream here. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, leave a comment, watch my other videos. Yes, I know they're taken on a phone and the quality's not very good. That'll change over time. Peace.